Some people collect friends everywhere they go. Others don't. They move through life with very few friends, sometimes no friends at all. Not because they failed socially, not because something went wrong, but because something in their mind works differently. If you've ever looked at your life and wondered why your connections are so few, this isn't about what you're missing, it's about what you have. And psychology has a lot to say about that. Some people don't just enjoy being alone. They end up with fewer friends because of how their mind works. Let's talk about the traits behind that. The first one is this: you have an unusually low tolerance for inauthenticity. You sense it quickly. The forced laughter, the performative kindness, the subtle competition hiding behind compliments. It drains you. Not because you're judgmental, but because your mind values what's real. Psychology shows that as self-awareness increases, tolerance for fake behavior drops. So instead of maintaining dozens of surface-level connections, you quietly step back. You'd rather be alone than feel lonely in a room full of people. And that choice alone removes most people from your life. The second trait is depth. Not intensity, depth. You don't bond through constant contact, you bond through meaning. Small talk feels exhausting, not because you're socially anxious, but because it doesn't go anywhere. You want conversations that stretch, that explore ideas, motives, contradictions, the parts of life most people avoid. And when those conversations are rare, friendships become rare too. You're not avoiding connection, you're avoiding shallow connection, so your circle stays small, by design. The third trait is heightened emotional awareness. You notice things others miss. Shifts in tone, energy changes, unspoken tension. Your brain is always reading between the lines. That means social situations cost you more, not emotionally, but energetically. After spending time with people, you need recovery, quiet, stillness, space. Psychology calls this higher nervous system sensitivity. It's not weakness, it's responsiveness. Your mind processes more information, so it needs more rest. And over time, this naturally limits how many people you can maintain closeness with. The fourth trait is self-sufficiency. You don't rely on people to regulate your mood. You don't need constant validation to feel grounded. You can sit with your thoughts, entertain yourself, work through problems internally. This independence is often misunderstood. People may see you as distant, hard to read, or uninterested. But the truth is simpler. You don't form connections out of need. You form them out of choice. And when connection isn't necessary for survival, it becomes selective. The fifth trait is caution shaped by experience. People with very few friends often didn't start that way. Something changed, a betrayal, a pattern of disappointment, feeling unseen for too long. Psychology shows that once trust is broken, the brain doesn't close, it filters. You observe longer, listen more, test consistency before closeness. This creates what researchers call a higher trust threshold. Not walls, standards. And standards naturally reduce numbers. Here's the truth. You have very few friends, maybe even none, and that's okay. Not because you need to learn to socialize, not because you're broken, not because you're doing it wrong. You are alone because the world can be cruel, because people can be manipulative, selfish, or cruelly judgmental, because sometimes interacting isn't worth the risk. And you've learned something most people never realize. You have the right, the full, unquestionable right to protect yourself, to step away, to limit exposure, to create a space where you feel safe. This isn't a choice in some abstract self-improvement sense. It's defense, it's survival, it's wisdom. You aren't avoiding connection to recharge or reflect, you're avoiding pain, and that is valid, completely. The world can be harsh, it can be cruel, it can be exhausting. So if you've withdrawn, if you've built a small circle, if you've decided it's better to stand apart, you are not wrong. You are not missing something. You are not failing. You are protecting yourself. And in that protection, there is clarity, there is strength, there is peace. Very few people understand this, and that's why your circle is small. Because you've chosen safety over chaos, because you've chosen presence over pretense, because you've chosen yourself over a world that doesn't always deserve your energy. And that makes you quietly remarkable, wise, resilient, powerful in ways that the noisy, over-connected world rarely notices. So if you have very few friends or none at all, know this: it is okay. It is valid. It is your right. You are not broken. You are not deficient. You are protecting something precious, yourself. And that alone is extraordinary. You are unique. You are special. And having very few or no friends does not diminish your value. It's actually a gift of freedom, a gift of peace of mind. It's your discernment, your strength, your freedom. Subscribe so you never miss the real, authentic reflections that understand you for who you really are. Remember, having very few or no friends isn't a flaw, it's your freedom.